Hello, everyone. We are super excited to have you at the Align and Thriving Summit. Today, we are talking about your message is the movement, okay? Your message is the movement, and it's a transformative virtual experience designed to inspire you guys to fully step into your voice, your purpose, and create the impact that you desire to create. Through powerful conversations with entrepreneurs, community builders, and thought leaders, this summit explores what it truly means to live and lead in alignment, to live and lead in alignment, okay? Because we all want to be aligned, okay? So each session is designed to help attendees reconnect with their message, overcome self-doubt, and build meaningful connections that support personal and professional growth. From reclaiming your voice to building communities rooted in authenticity, the summit creates space for women to feel seen, empowered, and inspired to move boldly in the direction of their purpose. So we have an amazing guest today. Donna is going to go ahead and introduce her, and we're excited and looking forward to the conversation.
Yeah, so we have Indira Felder here. So I'm going to read her bio, but Indira, I'm done with that. I want you to tell the ladies a little bit more about you and share your purpose and how you got to where you are today, like your why. Okay. So today, ladies, we are diving into something many entrepreneurs and creators struggle with, turning followers into true community that aligns with your mission. And we have one of the best in the event and spaces here. Our community builders, I mentioned, she's the founder of Beauties with Brains, a platform dedicated to empowering women to pursue purpose, leadership, and self-sustaining success. Love that. Especially for women of color, which we don't have many spaces. So I love that you're doing that, Indira. Through her work, she creates spaces where women can connect, grow, and step confidently into their next level. So, Indira, let us know a little bit more about you and how did you come up with this, creating this wonderful community, Beauties with Brains?
Yes. So first of all, thank you for that beautiful introduction. I'm so excited to be here. So I started Beauties with Brains in 2017, and it literally was just an idea I came up in class within class. I'm like, how can I touch more lives? How can I impact others? How can I spread this word without like depleting myself? Because what I found myself doing was always speaking with a lot of women one on one about their personal experiences, my personal experiences, sharing our testimonies, sharing our trials to triumph, etc. So I was like, what can I do? What can I do? And so I said, okay, well, I can host events where I create a platform where individuals come and they discuss, their trials and their trials to triumph, but like not giving up, just pushing forward, pushing through.
Yeah.
So literally, I sat there that day in the classroom and I said, "What's a good name? What's a good name?" And I thought about beauties and brains. So I went to the North Carolina Secretary of State website and I typed in beauties and brains, and then someone was using it. And so I was so like upset. I was down. I thought like maybe I shouldn't do this, right? But I said, no, let me figure it out. Let me change the, way to get to the plan, but not the plan.
Yes.
So I changed the and to with, and I went ahead and used beauties with brains, and from there birthed like anything more than what I ever could have imagined. Because literally the first event I had in Durham, North Carolina, I literally could have maybe, I think the venue held 100 people, and I literally sold out 150 people the first event, and then it was just onward and upward from there. So definitely
Yeah.
a beautiful, beautiful blessing. But like I said, it's just been life changing. So
Yeah. So you said in class, what class? What
it
class?
was I was in a legal class. It was
Okay.
I was doing something for my job because my corporate job is I'm in the legal field. And so I was getting I can't even remember. It was, I don't want to tell my age, but it was so it was over 10 years ago at this point. And
Yeah.
it was just one of the legal courses we had to take for the class. I mean, for the to get. I think we were getting what was it? Some sort of, I don't know. It was something we were getting. We needed for my job.
So,
And
okay.
but yeah, so that's the class I was in, and yeah, so
Yeah, so you work full time and
yes,
you had this idea and you made this a part-time hustle for you.
correct.
Yes, okay,
Hmm.
nice.
Hmm. Yes. But I think when, we do a huge annual event each year. So I think like when the event is like here, like when we're planning for an event, it becomes full time because
Yes.
yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sure you guys know planning an event is like
A lot of work, a lot of
a
time.
lot of work.
a
Yes.
lot. Okay.
Yes.
We had one event in person.
Okay.
We typically do online virtual events and virtual summits like this. But we had one in-person event. Excuse me, I'm gonna be sniffing as I go along because I got sick coming back from Texas.
Yeah,
Um,
no, it's
but
okay.
we didn't realize how much like we hired somebody on, like a contractor on to help us out with the event, but we just realized like this is a lot. So
Yeah.
we are going to learn some lessons from you too as well today, and all the women that don't have community that may have just an audience and want to form some type of community. Make sure you take down notes today, okay? Get your pad, get your pen, jot down notes because what Indira has created is something that is phenomenal. And just like from, if you guys don't follow her on social media, go ahead and do that because she posts a lot of her stuff on Instagram. But I mean, amazing speakers, amazing events, great turnout. And I mean, they look beautiful. You do
Yeah.
an amazing job. So thank you for putting that on for Black women.
Yes, you're so
Yes,
welcome.
we've done events for like clients, but we were only doing the media part, like the PR media
Right.
part. So like the
Yeah.
reality of the event, we're gonna get into that. So I'm super excited for this conversation. Okay, so starting off, we want to do an icebreaker.
Okay.
Thinking about communities that you might love being a part of, that we love being a part of. Like what are some words that describe a community to you that you feel connected to?
I would say innovative
Innovative. Okay.
because I like communities that grow. Like, we grow with the trends, and we stay ahead of the trends. And it's room for growth and room for like just moving up, onward and upward. I also would say elevated. I
Elevated.
like elevated experiences. Um, I would say genuine. I never want a community to feel mean girlish, or I never want to be a part of a community that's mean girlish. Um, I would say spiritual.
Spiritual. Yeah.
I feel like, we can't move without God. So God always has to remain the center and the focus of everything I would want to be a part of.
Talk about it.
Um, yes. And
Yeah.
I think family oriented.
Family art.
Like, because I need you to understand that my kids are going to come first. So
Yes.
of course I'm going to try to make everything and do everything that I can do. But if I can't make it because the kid's sick or something, I need the grace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yes, those are a few.
Yeah,
That are
I,
important to me.
I I completely align with the last two.
Yes.
Completely. Yes, it's like I am, and then for me too, it's like I'm trying to get out of like I'm like I love my motherhood. I'm like in it 24/7, so I'm trying to get out of that. But I'm like, if you invite me somewhere, can the kids come? That's the first thing I ask. It's like,
Can the kids come? 75% of the time I
yeah,
can't come if the kids can't come.
Yes.
Okay.
Tell you, and speaking of events, like I have not been out there since my youngest is 2. He's 2.5 now. He'll be 3 in June. So I'm excited.
June what?
June 19th. How would
Okay,
you?
my son is June 14th.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
We were pregnant. Your son's turning 3.
Yes.
she was pregnant at the same time as me.
Okay, no,
Around
her
the same
son's turning 3 in June.
Yes, he started 3 in June.
We were pregnant at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
Exact same time. Literally 5 days apart in labor. Like,
Yes, okay, yeah. So alignment, more alignment.
okay. Right.
Like I have not been out, and when I went out in November when my sister came, I was like, wait, it's loud in here. Like talk about like events and community and just going out. So I'm trying to get back out there in the event space too. So yeah, so we know that going to events and things it allows you to create community, but also to be seen,
Yeah.
to her and get your voice out there is a phenomenal tool to also network. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that too. So
Okay.
let's get started here, Indira. So
Okay.
let's talk about the audience versus a community shift, okay? Because I know when you started out your events, you were trying to get, more brand awareness. But as you said, your first event sold out. So, I mean, that was like a community shift very quickly. But let's talk about what's the difference between building an audience versus cultivating a community.
Yes, I would say, you know, you and we let's shift it a little to like social media, like just to give a illustration,
Yeah.
right? When when you're building a social media from the ground up, you can have all of these followers super
Mhm.
quick, right? But you when it comes time for
Yeah.
those brand deals want to see that engagement.
Yeah.
And that engagement is going to come from your community.
Yeah.
So for me, when I did my first Beauties with Brains event, I really didn't know what I was doing, but I knew this is what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So as I went along, like from the first event to the second event, the first event, it was like anybody come. You know, I want all of you to come, you know, right? I just want to build it. I want to get the name out there. But as time went along, I definitely realized that creating a community was extremely important. And that community was like people that more so resonated with the brand, aligned with the brand. And if it was like, professional women, entrepreneurial women or women that just want to get out and network, like you could literally tell the shift, right? The
Yeah.
shift and creating that community is like extremely important. Just like I know right now I have Beauties with Brains, and I created that community and nourished it. And now if I have, Indie Felder branding or the my Lux Mom brand, they just follow from
Yeah.
Beauties with Brains because that's the community I poured into. That's the community I built. And it's such like brands don't want to work with you just because you have followers. They
Yeah.
want to work with you because your community is
Mhm.
going to support whatever you do.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That
You know?
engagement. Yes. The
Yes.
community. Yes.
Yes.
I love how you broke that down because nowadays we live in like this popcorn culture. Everybody wants followers, right? Everybody like I want to have, I want to be this influencer, right? But not
Yes.
really. You'll see people on social media with tons of following and like 10 likes. It's like, wait, how does this
Exactly. Yes.
Light it up.
who's showing up? Like who's
That's right. Exactly.
in the community aspect? So right, I hope you write that down,
Yes.
later. Write
Yes.
that.
I just wanted to give an illustration because I know I'm a visual learner and I need like break it down so I can understand. So that's the
Yeah, and just going off of that, so have has community always been at the center of your life since you've been a teen or a child? Like, has that always played a part of your life? And then, or have you always loved social media to where you've shown up on social media to really pour into your community?
I actually don't like social media.
Okay, uh-huh.
Like I like the business side of social media. I don't really like the personal side of social
Yeah,
media. If I'm just being honest, and especially ever since I've had like after I had my kids, I really don't like social media. So
Uh,
it's if I'm just being like quite honest, like it's really hard for me to show up on social media because I don't like it for
mhm,
personal reasons, but I still show up because I know like in order to market and push whatever I'm trying to push, I have to utilize social media. But if
mhm,
I didn't have to use social media, I would not use social media. But I
yeah,
do feel like I've always been a people's person.
mhm.
So community has always been like extremely important to me.
Yeah, and a lot of CEOs don't like social media. A lot of founders and things don't. But we know that, like you said, you have to show up there. So,
Yeah.
so the next, Donna, go ahead and ask Indira the next question.
so let's see here. Okay, so why do you think many creators focus on numbers instead of alignment? I know we kind of just talked about that, but like, why do you think that is? Like, of course,
I
we know that society plays a huge part in that, but I'm gonna go ahead and let you answer.
Right. No, you took the words right out of my mouth. I think it's because of society, the
Yeah,
pressure of society, what they think is supposed to be. Oh, because you're supposed to have a lot of followers to if you want to be an influencer, or you're supposed to have a lot of followers to do not equate to finances.
yeah,
Yeah.
Okay. So I just think it's a society thing. I think it's because it's a social media thing. Oh my God, she has a lot of followers. Okay. But does she truly have that influence?
yeah,
Is she truly influencing? Because I can follow someone who has a huge amount of followers, and she could tag her hairstylist or whomever she's trying to, tag, and I'll scroll right by it.
yeah.
Hmm.
Influence. You get what I'm saying? So I think, like you said, I think it's just a society thing. Um,
Yeah, I also too think like even for me like I'm getting into the content creator world and I want to create content that's relatable, right? I want to create content that's authentic. But what I'm realizing is society, like people on social media, they gravitate to the people that has the following because they think
mm,
they're somebody, right? It's like, oh, so because they have the
Instagram of it.
following, now I want to comment and engage, right? I want them to see me now because they have the
Mhm.
following. And it's like, no. uh,
Yeah,
show up for me. For me, it's like, are they showing up authentic? Can I relate to the content? Can I connect with them?
mhm.
Like, can I
Yeah.
connect with what they're sharing? Not necessarily because I want to follow the bandwagon of people that,
Exactly.
you know.
Right,
Mm.
right.
Now, as you're in the event community space, was there any signs that you've realized that when you shifted from like just having an audience to having a genuine, authentic community?
Yes, I would really say when I started other brands, those same people from Beauties with Brains would support and show up. I'm like, wow, this is really a community. They really support me. They're really showing up for me. And that was a confirmation. Definitely.
Probably.
Mhm.
What would you say would be some of the things that you gave the community in order for them to become your Raven fans? Like, was it just you showing up authentically? Was it freebies? Was it what they were able to experience at the in-person events? What would you say?
Yes.
Mhm.
I definitely think it was a combination of all of those things, just the experience they received when they came to the events in person, and then also like me, I'm just super genuine. Like I would literally, if I just meet you yesterday and you want to talk for 2 hours the next day about what you're going through, and I can give my advice, I think they can feel that genuineness and that I really truly care and really truly want to help. However, I can help. I want to help. Um, and I think just like I said, those two alone, like just the coming into person to these events, like, wow, she really put blood, sweat, and tears into this event. Not only does this event look good, this event feels good.
Mhm.
And that's why I'm kind of like you, like going into the content creator world with my Lux Mom brand. And
Mhm.
I literally want to just show moms that just because we have kids, I want us to not only look good on the outside, I want us to feel good on the inside. You get what I'm saying? So just trying to
Yes.
show that, bring that to light, and not just like, oh, mommy, like I have kids. Oh my God, this is so life changing. My life will never be the same. No, your life is really just getting started.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like
Yes.
walk into that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's one of the reasons why we wanted to create the mommy group too. And let's talk about this really
Y'all
quick.
need to do that.
Because I
Yes,
feel like
y'all
us
need to
millennial,
do mommy content to get twin content.
Together,
uh,
Know
coming
how
to that.
big of a space that is right now. Not to go
Yeah.
off topic, off subject, but y'all need to do that. I'm telling you, y'all will go up so fast.
mhm,
It's so many different hacks to this social media influencer things.
mhm.
You guys were born with the hack. You
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, we just gotta get in the same, we gotta get in the same state, and
y'all
that's what I
have
was
to.
telling, as we were saying, we have
I
to
mean,
be
at the end of the day, it's going to be an investment.
Yeah.
right,
Y'all have
right.
to make that happen. I
Um,
wish I had a twin sister.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Y'all have to do that. I'm telling you,
yeah,
I don't have a twin, and I follow so many twin pages from my mom pages because I know that's always what I wanted. I always
Yeah.
wanted a
mhm,
twin, or I always wanted to have twins. Y'all will go up easily. I'm telling
yeah.
you, for
Yeah,
real.
yeah. So we definitely have to make that happen. But one
Yes.
of the things that I've realized with us millennial women, and I don't know if it's necessarily all of them, but I feel like it's
Yes.
all of the ones that understands their purpose and that are really wanting something more. We are not living in the survivor's mentality, right? It's like we can still have a purpose outside of our family, right? That's the highest calling is motherhood, but we can still have a purpose outside of that and not feel like we have to just survive and just kind of, just do it all and instead of just being, right? And I think we're really breaking the stigma or the barriers in that realm of things when it comes to the that I talk to so many different age range of mothers, but I really feel like millennials are like, we don't let's talk about it, let's create the communities, uplift each other, let's not suffer in silence.
Yes. Let's show
Right?
up.
Because
Yes.
a lot of the women before us suffered in silence. And I hate to say that. I say that every time. I hate to say suffered in silence, but it's like there's no way I could have been doing all of this stuff and just
Yes.
like just acting like this is normal. Because it's like you waking up, you taking the kids to school, you're
Oop,
getting lunch ready, you're working on a business, or you're going to work full time, which is a lot.
yep,
And
yep,
you doing this every single day, and you find yourself falling into the space of like losing yourself. And it's like, why hasn't these been conversations that's been had previously?
Yeah.
yeah,
So the communities that Indira you have and that we have is like these are needed. So guys, even when it comes to what you are creating with your business and brands, think about the need because a lot of us women need the resources. We do.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So speaking of the communities, right? Having an online community, let's dig more into the foundations of what that looks like.
Mhm.
Um, how can leaders create a sense of identity within their community? So if we have women watching today who are thinking about creating communities, or not even just create a community, being a part of a community, like what are some of the how can they create that within um what should that look like for them maybe?
Like what's necessary steps, or I want to make sure I,
Yes.
you
So
know,
steps. Yeah. Like what steps can they take to say if they want to do a mom community, or if they're watching today and they're not a mom, they're a business professional, they want to create a community of professional women. Like what? How can I'm
What
trying
are
to
the
get
steps? What are the steps they need to take in order to get this started?
okay, yes, yes, yes. So I would definitely say make sure you have your vision written down, right? Write down your vision. Once you write down the vision, you will know the necessary steps you need to take. So say for example, if someone wanted to create a business group, like to start businesses, right? You literally will just write down your vision of what you want to do, and then you would say, hey, do I have my go-to is always like who's already in my network, whether it's colleagues, whether it's friends I have, whomever it is, like reach into your network and say, okay, I want you to sit on my board. I want you to be the, person that handles the social media for my new brand or whatever I'm trying to do. Use your resources that you have within your community or your friend group or your family, and then start from there with your vision. Start to pass out like duties and stuff like that. Get your social media account, figure out what's going to be your purpose. That's going to be the biggest thing. Like, what's the purpose? Make sure you have a purpose for your vision, whatever you want to do, whatever you see fit. And then also the biggest thing is stay consistent.
staying consistent?
Just because you have a day that you feel overwhelmed or overstimulated, that's fine. Take that day, but get right back to it. That took me a long time to once I would stick to something and stay consistent, that's when I seen the results. You
Yeah.
have to stay consistent because I had a bad habit of like if one thing goes wrong, it's hard for me to get back on track. If my
Yeah.
kids get sick, it's hard for me to kind of shift back into that mindset of let's get this done. So what I literally tell myself all the time, stay on track, stay on track, stay on track, stay consistent, stay consistent. So that's going to be the biggest thing. You guys just stay consistent. And once you stay consistent, the results will follow. And then lastly, just make sure that you do something that you see a purpose, like it makes you happy. It doesn't feel like, oh, I got to get up and do this. Because if you're doing something that you feel like God has placed on your heart to do, or you feel driven to do, everything else is going to come with it because it doesn't feel forceful. It's not something that you're like, I don't feel like doing this. You want to do it.
Absolutely. And
Yes.
consistency, guys, looks like week over week, not day over day. So don't go stressing yourself out.
Okay.
Don't go stressing yourself out. Trying to
Please.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. No, let's talk.
No.
Let's do it about weeks because I feel like
Yes.
it will be easier mentally for all of us.
Yes.
Yeah.
And when I started looking at it that way, it ceases the overwhelm for me. It doesn't overstimulate me as much versus like, okay, what can I do on a weekly basis to move the needle?
Yes.
Yes. And I think
Move the needle. I like that.
Yeah.
I do want to piggyback too. And Darren mentioned showing up on social media. I think it's also important to know when you're creating these communities what social media platform you should be on, because now we have so many different platforms
Ooh.
out there for everyone. It's like finding where your community lives is also going to be important too. And if you
So
look at
I was about to say, so where does Indira, where does your community live? Where does your community live at? What
Most Georgia. Most of them live in Georgia.
the social
Oh,
media
I'm sorry.
platform?
I'm sorry.
The
The
social media platforms.
which you said where? Oh, Beauties with Brains. The
No,
biggest.
so
Oh, I'm sorry.
no worries, no worries. So what social media platforms do your followers live on? Threads, Instagram,
Instagram.
Facebook? Okay.
Instagram.
Mhm.
Most of them are Instagram. And I feel like that's because I show up mostly on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love threads. I want to really get more into threads. Like I love threads.
Mhm.
I'm not a Facebook girl. I wish I could get into Facebook because I know a lot of people like um use that platform and it helps with their
Community
brand.
pages.
Yes. But
Mhm.
I'm like, I can't Facebook. I just can't. And I really wish I could show up more on TikTok. So, but my favorites are Instagram, threads, and TikTok.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, and then they have more like if you're into like lifestyle creating communities for that, like they have more new platforms now called Lemonade. So
Oh,
yeah, they have Lemonade is kind of like a TikTok and a Pinterest mixed together. It's like
ooh, okay.
not marrying.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a really cool platform. I'm on there. I'm trying to get the community on there too. So
Right.
find your community. That's super important, ladies. Okay, so what are some ways you have created a community that is that participates? Oh my goodness, I cannot speak today. What is going on? I didn't have my
It's
cup of
Friday.
coffee. It's Friday too. Yes. So okay, what are some ways that you've gotten your community to really engage with what you're doing?
I would definitely say posting consistently. When I'm planning for an event, I plan a year prior.
Mhm.
So I try to take them along that journey to make sure like they feel like they're a part,
Mhm.
and they feel included. That's one. So just making them feel included, posting consistently, and I would say like really creating personal relationships. So
Mhm.
not just like you're coming to an event and you're seeing whomever's speaking at the event, but also like on a personal note where, emailing or texting or FaceTiming, and just staying connected throughout, not just when an event is happening.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah. Keeping your presence out there is
Yes.
important. Okay, so some good stuff here. Okay,
Yes.
now we kind of sprinkle on turning followers into participants or
Yes.
into an engaged community. What are some simple ways to invite people into a deeper connection? Because I know you mentioned having your communities online, but those convert into people wanting to show up, and I'm sure people when you have your events, they're showing up from all over the world. I'm sure.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
what are some simple ways to invite people into a deeper connection to want to be able to be like, okay, wait, I live in Texas. She said
Seattle.
in Atlanta, Georgia. I got to make sure I get my flight.
Yes. And again, it kind of goes back to making them feel included. Like if they see the journey, if they see you, building out the event, they see you meeting with your vendors, meeting with your team, they're like, oh my God, I can't wait. You're like building up that, right?
And
Yes, yes. And
yeah,
they want to see, they want to be a part, they want to feel included. And then now it's like, boom, okay, you've seen that, all of that, and now you see the flyers come, the graphics coming out about the event. I can't miss it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't miss it.
Huh.
mhm,
So
Indira, I heard you mention earlier that with your first event you sold out, but then for the
yes,
second event you realized that you wanted to get more of the people that wasn't more aligned at the event.
yes.
How did you and excuse me if I missed this, how did you realize, okay, I sold out this event, but it wasn't necessarily the right people in the room. And
Yes.
how did you get the people that was supposed to be there in the room for the next event?
Yeah, I feel like the way I think my marketing, I was a little bit more strategic with my marketing, like who I marketed to, what platforms I utilized to market, whether like I think the first year I used the radio to market, right? And that's more like, you're reaching everyone. But
yeah,
then
like
the second year I feel like I kind of partner more with other communities that were into like women in business and professional women Facebook groups at that time,
Mm,
when I was planning events. Back then when I first started, Facebook groups really helped, like Facebook groups that I knew, like if it was like a women in business group or a professional women group, like I'm like, okay, this is who I need to market to. And then also I really got in the field. I would literally go on eventbrite.com and search networking events in the area that aligned. And so when I think about it now, I'm like, wow, I really didn't have like anxiety back then, but now I feel like I have like anxiety when it comes like social anxiety
Yeah.
sometimes. Um, I literally will find these events on Eventbrite, go to these events alone,
Uh,
and pass out my business cards,
Yes.
network with other women, and tell them about the Beauties with Brains events.
yeah.
So that helped tremendously.
You hit the grassroots marketing. You took it
I'm
back.
telling you, yes, I
Yes.
took it at the best marketing ever,
It is.
Yes. So,
ever,
did
because
so
you're
you
building
say
those connections in person.
right. So I heard you saying you was doing a lot of the groundwork. Did you have like a VA to help you with some of the back end stuff, or did you kind of like? I know you said you planned it a year in advance. Did you do that
Yes.
because you realized you was doing a lot of the things by yourself?
Well, so I think only time I really didn't have a team was the first event.
Okay.
The first event I didn't have a team, but as we went on to go into the second event, I had already implemented a team. So I had like an assistant, I had a graphics team, I had a I mean, all I had a sponsorship team, everything that you could think of, all the moving parts, so the event could, proceed seamlessly. I had.
Yeah. So look, guys, you heard that. She started off doing everything for herself for the first event. Once she got the results from the first event, she invested in team. Okay. We cannot do this alone.
No,
We cannot.
no,
We may think
I'm
we
telling
can.
you,
We can't. We can't. So
no.
I'm glad you mentioned that because oftentimes we come up with these ideas and we're starting off from ground up. We don't have the resources, the money. But oftentimes we can get things done, right? So doing the first event, investing the time and energy into that to reap the benefits to be able to hire a team next go around. But then also, it was like something else you mentioned that I wanted to piggyback on, and I think it's going to come back to me. I have mommy brain,
Oh, okay, me too.
mommy brain to the fullest, and I should have wrote it down because I'm like I have to write the things down. But it will come back to me. But yeah, guys, we cannot do this alone. We cannot.
Mhm.
So you may think that because we don't have the resources as far as the time and the money that we can't get something done. Put the plan together,
Yeah.
out the first event, the thing by yourself, invest whatever results you got from that first event, invest that money and revenue back into the next one.
Yeah.
Build a team and keep growing the brand from there.
Yeah, so
Absolutely.
Indira, you did mention something, and I love how you got in the field. Like, and I know you talked about how now you have social anxiety. So let's talk about that because I know there's some woman watching this who's going to be watching it live or the playback, and they're like, "Wait, I don't like I have social anxiety. I don't know how to start a conversation." And then I know as you transition to a mom, that probably created some of that as well. So like, let's dig a little bit deeper into that. Like why do you have social anxiety now
If
versus
I'm being all the way honest, why I have social anxiety now? Social media.
media? Okay.
Social media. I see like before they really Instagram really got into this whole algorithm thing and
Yeah.
figuring out what you're interested in and etc. I feel like so many negative things will come up on my social media stories and stuff, and it's just like this happened in the world, that happened in the world,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is so much, and I feel like that's where it started, and then COVID happened,
Oh, but
and in
yeah.
2020 when COVID happened, and at that time I was still living in Raleigh, and I had my only social like networking I had was at work. I didn't really have a personal social life there at that time because all my friends were living in Atlanta and my other friends were living in Charlotte. So Atlanta and Charlotte. And so when we started to have to work from home, I have no social interaction
Yeah.
for years at this point now because it's just at home and I was so used to going to work every day and interacting with those people. Those people were like my family, those people were like friends. And that's where it came from. And so finally, when I realized, like, oh my gosh, I used to really be a social butterfly. I am suffering from social anxiety. That's when I said, oh, I have to relocate. And that's how I, was relocated, started the process to relocate to Georgia.
Okay.
Mhm.
So
We're gonna figure this out now. You packed up your bags and was like, let's move to
I
the
have to go.
uh
yeah.
And now that social anxiety is still there sometimes, but it is like 90% better than what it was.
Hmm.
90% better. So guys, just make sure whenever you're going through something in life, don't be afraid to identify the problem and then come up with your solutions. Don't just sit on it. There are going to be solutions, and just implement those solutions and do whatever is best for you and your family. I promise you it'll pay off in the end.
It's all
Yeah.
Yeah.
solution. So,
Because I feel
Indira,
like I'm living my best life in Georgia. Like
Yeah.
yeah,
my
So
family, my
and there,
friends, my community. It's just, yeah.
so you have family and friends here? So your friends are like the village, your support to where it's
Yes.
like it works, right?
Yeah, it
Okay.
works. Yep,
Uh-huh.
because my family lives in New York and Charlotte. So they're
Okay.
only a few hours away. My mom is here my mom and dad both are in Georgia all the time, especially with me having the kids and stuff.
It's fine.
So they're here all the time.
Yeah.
But like my friends and I are so close. They're like family, and they've been my friends for a long time. So I'm just happy to be in the same state as them.
Yeah.
I can't wait till y'all move. I'm rooting for it.
Yeah.
yes. I heard an accent there, and for we didn't even mention this how we even know about Indira. We are all from Charlotte. Well, we
Yes.
moved from Charlotte from New Jersey, and I
Yes.
heard you say you
New
got
York. New
okay.
York to
Heard
Charlotte.
an
Yep.
accent. I'm
Yep.
like, I heard
Yep.
a little accent in
Yeah.
there. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and the crazy thing is, we never crossed paths in Charlotte. We went to two different schools and
Yes.
everything, but that's how we know of Indira because we know people within our same networks that were
Yes.
one of our close friends in college was one of their close friends. So yeah,
Yes.
so that's how we know Indira. It's a small world, but now we are connected here, trying to help build this community. So I
Absolutely.
love that.
Absolutely.
All right. So okay. So Indira. So we've talked about a lot here. We're gonna. Well, first, actually, before we get into the rapid fire, gave a lot of great tips. Okay, but I want to ask specifically, like, what advice would you give someone afraid of niching their message or speaking boldly?
I would say just go for it. Just do it. People are gonna judge you regardless.
Yeah.
If you say it's hot, they're gonna judge you. If you say it's cold, they're gonna judge you. If you say it's warm in between, they're gonna judge you. So just do it. Just do it. There's nothing to it but to do it. Like I promise you, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Don't take things too personal with people and their opinions. Everyone's going to always have an opinion. Just do what's best for you and do what makes you happy and do what you need to do to elevate to the next level.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
And
Because there's
and,
always.
and Donna, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry to cut
Mhm.
you off.
Also, you gotta think, like, there's always gonna be when it's talking about community. If you have a community that loves you, there's always gonna be a community that's gonna judge you, like she said, or not like you, hate you. So just
Yeah.
when you find that community, it'll help you feel better and give you the motivation to proceed for it. But like she said, just do it. Just go ahead and do
Yeah.
it.
Because you'll have 5 people who don't like it, but you'll have those 25 people in your community that will. So
Yeah, yeah. I think too, just to piggyback off of that, like even for our first event, we didn't have many people show up, but the people that showed up was meant to show
exactly.
up, right?
There you
So
go.
don't even focus. Yes, set goals for the numbers. We have to set goals, right? Because what are we doing this for if we don't set goals,
Yeah.
right? But as long as people are showing up, whether you got 5, 10, 15, 20 people in the room, pour into them 20 people, okay? And it will grow from there. I promise you. Word of mouth, it has been one of the main ways that we've grown TG the brand TG
Mm.
like it's been word of mouth and referrals. People
Yeah.
talk, right? So as we were saying, they're gonna talk regardless. So
Okay.
but before we get into the rapid fire, I really want to let's get a moment to talk about God, okay, and alignment and our purpose because I know you mentioned that at the beginning, and me and Donna are very big on making sure that God is at the center of everything that we do,
Mm.
especially now, right? Because we feel like we kind of lost the way a little bit to where in entrepreneurship, there like the journey is not easy and it will bring out different traumas and triggers and mindset things that you ain't even know was there, right? You like, oh, I thought I was healed. Like, what is happening?
Yeah.
And this journey is not possible. Okay,
Mm.
well, nobody tell you. It's not
Okay.
possible without God. I know people believe in other things, right? I know people believe in the universe or whatever the case is, but I'm solely speaking on God here. And I would love for you to share, like, um, how have you allowed God to show up in your entrepreneurship journey? Is it like constant conversations that you have with him every day? Are you connecting with him? Are you asking him questions to be able to listen, for him to give you the signs to say, yes, this is what you're supposed to be doing.
Yes. I feel like I grew up like believing in God. I grew up in church. I even when I became an adult of my own, I just like, you know, grew like kept going to church,
Mhm.
implement church. I pray. And so I think for me, every morning I would talk to God. I would have like quiet time with God. And whether it was like prayer or just listening to gospel, sitting still, listening to him. And I always pray to him no matter if I'm in a storm or
Mhm.
if I'm not in a storm. I always pray to him. I keep the same prayer. I'm just telling him, even if I'm in a storm, I say, hey, I'm thankful that I can feel this storm. Like I'm thankful to be here, right? And I just thank you for everything you do for me. And I always ask him to show me signs, and he always does.
Mhm.
He always does. And a lot of times, well, I tell people all the time, you cannot have fear and faith together, right? So when I am going through something, I'm like, I always remind myself, God always works this out for you. He always figures this out for you. You cannot worry. You cannot fear. He is going to work this out for you. And
Yeah.
guess what? He always does. He never fails me. Never. Even in the times where I'm like, why would this happen to me? Or why would I have to experience this? And then he always, I'm going to show you why. And it's
Mhm.
always something bigger. It's always something better. And it's just like, he's such an amazing God. Like, seriously, I just
Yeah.
get so emotional even thinking about it and talking about how faithful he's been. So yeah, just like he always sends signs. I always pray to him, always show up for him. And I don't go to church as often in Atlanta because my kids, every time I take my kids to church, they
Oh
cut out.
yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah,
Girl,
it's a
go
lot.
get
And
some
I'm like,
kids.
please stop. And so, but I still like watch it on the TV.
Online, church me,
Yes,
please.
yes, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But yes,
it's like with the two littles, it's just I'm just like, who made this? I'm glad online church became a thing because I'm just like, this is stressful.
like seriously. Last Sunday, the Sunday before last, we tried to take both, and literally, the baby, they spent half the service outside because she was so
Right?
tired. I said, yeah,
Right. Showing
no.
out in the
I know.
church.
I just said, just forget. On next
Yeah.
Sunday, we'll be online again.
Yes.
Back online.
Listen, I'm telling you, I did that when not maybe the first time I did it, Amir was like 6 or 7 months. I say, yeah, this is not. I rather be in the bed watching this or like in my living room because what?
Okay, I'm
Uh,
telling you.
but you said something before we get into rapid fire. You had said something that stuck with me, and you said about something about the why me, right? And I feel like oftentimes in the entrepreneurship journey, we can find ourselves saying,
Yeah,
all right, why me? Like, what is
yeah.
happening?
Mhm.
I think in just in life in general, as moms, we wear a lot of hats. We have a lot of weight that we carry. But oftentimes, and that I actually went inside the building. Okay, I got in. I went to the Chain Church out here in Stone Mountain. This is my first time going to the Stone Mountain location. I visited the other Gwinnett County location before, but it was meant for me to be in the building this day, and it went smooth. Speaking about being stressful, I was like, okay, we're gonna try it again. Because I say, God, at least once a month. If we can figure it out once a month, then okay. And this day we went to the 12 o'clock service. I think that was like the sweet spot there, the 12
Okay.
service. And the Pastor Darius mentioned something. He said we often ask God like why, right?
Mm,
Like this is like why me? This is too much. And it's like we're carrying things that God didn't even want us to carry. We're carrying a lot. We don't
Yeah.
we we're carrying the things that we didn't even ask God, should we be carrying this, right? Should we
right,
be doing this? Are we supposed to be here? And
right.
we're overwhelmed, we're stressed, and the things of the nature. God will bless us with the things that He feels like is our purpose and our plan. And
Yeah,
sometimes it's not going to be easy. Sometimes we're still going to be asking God, why me? But oftentimes we're asking Him that because we're carrying loads that wasn't even meant to be ours in the first place.
exactly.
So even like with thinking about that for me in entrepreneurship, now I'm like looking at it as okay, I don't want to be overly um not I won't say I don't want to be disobedient, right? So when I say that, I want to ask God, hey, this idea came to me. Am I supposed to be doing this, or is this just my idea. Like,
Mhm.
because I find myself, I come up with ideas all the time. The things that I want to do, Dwayne is playing, Dwayne is going to get it done. You want to go to,
Yeah.
you want to get your master's? We got the master's. You want to create the children's book? We create a children's book. We want to do this business? We can do this. So it's like, but I'm like, God, now I'm like, God, okay, Dwayne wants to do this. Is this your will for me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, is this the relationship you want me to build? Am I supposed to go here? Am I supposed to network there? So now I'm like starting to, I want to ask him about every single thing.
Very intentional. Yes. I love
But
that.
motherhood is overwhelming enough. I'm already,
Okay.
why add extra baggage? Like, that's not even needed. God didn't even tell me to be here right now.
Yes, and that's one
So,
of the reasons we created this community, and why we're doing the Align and Thriving, because we realized, like, the intentions for when we started doing it was more so of, okay, yeah, we want to create a community, but we also want to see profit from it, right? And then God was like, nah, no. And literally right after we did the first summit, we were like, okay, no, we just need to get the right woman in the room consistently and push this out. No dollar attached. If it makes $1, great. If it doesn't, great. Like, because he has put a purpose on us to get women like yourself in the room with us, Indira, to have conversations to help women grow their businesses, find their purpose, find their voice, find their communities. So we are very grateful for you to be a part of this conversation today.
And I want you guys to have an in-person event because I can't wait to come. I love
Yes.
virtual too, but I love what you guys are doing, and I would love to experience it in person in the future. Like, definitely.
Thank you. We appreciate that. Okay, so rapid fire questions. Okay, so you've probably done rapid fire questions before, so it'll be either this or that, or you
Okay.
can answer in one word. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So community building or audience growth, which should come first?
I think community building.
Community building. Okay. All right. So one mistake people make when trying to build community.
Rushing.
Timing
is perfect. Yes, patience is a virtue.
Yes. All right. So one question leaders should ask their audience more often.
What can I do to make this event feel, or whatever you're doing, what can I do to make this feel different from the rest?
Okay. All right. One way to make people feel seen online.
Engage.
Yeah. Be authentic. All right. And a daily habit that strengthens community.
Daily habit. Showing up on social media, especially if it's like a community you're building that's social media based. I definitely would say showing up on social media.
Showing up, yes. And kind of piggyback on that last one too, showing up. I know that it can be, social media is a job in itself. So they have platforms available for you to show up without having to physically be on there every day. You can schedule a post.
Schedule your post, yep.
Yes, Instagram is also like scheduling messages. You can schedule like outreach messages now. There's so many ways you can do that without having to physically do the draining part of like actively being on social media every day. But you also do want to make sure you are being active. Like, people want to see you, not a robot. They want to connect with you heart to heart. So this is awesome, Indira. We have to have a part two.
Yes, we definitely have to have a part two to dive a little deeper.
Yes, dive a little deeper. Talk a little bit more about motherhood with the two. You're really in the nitty gritty. You have a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old. Okay.
10 months. 10 months.
10 months. Oh, yeah. So you're in the nitty gritty.
Yes, for real. I said this. I call this the trenches. I love it.
Yes,
surviving the chaos. Okay.
Yes, but speaking about surviving the chaos, before we do the closing and allow people to connect with you further post this conversation, how are you surviving the chaos as a full-time worker, growing a business and brand, pouring into this other brand that you're creating, like that you created?
Yes.
In the nitty-gritty of the motherhood, wife. How are you do, like, what do you
balance?
Okay.
Balance. I'm telling you, you cannot lose yourself in the midst of this.
Yeah.
Because when you lose yourself in the midst of it, that's when you can't fully balance and focus and say, I need to be doing this, I need to, because now you're losing yourself and it's too much weight, like mentally.
Mm-hmm.
So I found a balance. Okay. I'm telling you, I know that I need to wake up between 5 a.m. and 9 a.m. and get everything that I need to do done. And I focus in the mornings to get my stuff done. And then 9 a.m. I wake up the kids
Mm-hmm.
and then we hit the ground running.
Mm-hmm.
I spend the first half of my day by myself, my me time, my prayer, my tea, my matcha, my coffee, my reading, my work, whatever I need to do is going to be done super early in the morning. And
Mm-hmm.
I give my afternoons and my evenings to my kids.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
so I'm like mommy mode all day, every day, but I make sure to also take a day to myself, whether it looks like a girl day, a maintenance day, whatever
Mm-hmm.
it is, I take that for my mental, and
Mhm.
finding that balance has literally been so amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And also building, like having that community or
Yeah.
having help. Like I know some people say, well, I don't have my family, I don't have my parents here and stuff like that. So even if you don't have your family, you have to, use your friends and
The
people
community,
that you trust in that community to help out, because you don't want to take that on by yourself.
building
Mm-hmm.
a village, and that is something that Dwayne is doing a great job this year with doing, because she,
Yeah.
Yes.
like, I literally just moved away from my village, my complete village, but Dwayne has been in Georgia for over a decade, and that's something she's been working on.
I
I
struggled
love
with that. I struggled with that at first,
you
and
did
God had told me like when I got pregnant with Amir, like, baby, we're not doing this again.
not doing this.
And what I do, I did it again, and I found myself, like you just said, like losing myself in the midst of burnout. But these past 2 years, I've been really like mindful about pouring into like myself, connecting with people. So I've met people out here, right? I know people, like people know me. But it's
Yeah,
like Joanna. Once I became a mom, I'm
it
like
was
off the
all
scene.
mom. Yeah,
Right. It's like I'm not out and about, like, or if I don't have the bandwidth, like we just don't have the bandwidth. But now me and my friend, every week we meeting for play dates, work dates. We're
love
pointing to,
that.
we're doing Bible verses, doing Bible studies. So I'm like, and I'm pouring more.
Don't you see the shift?
I see the shift. I feel it. I feel it. And I'm like, Dwayna, come on now. And it took me to get in a place of burnout to where it's like, girl, you can't get out of this one. This fact, like I
Yeah,
couldn't get out of it. Sis
yeah.
can't get out of the
It's a
burnout.
real thing. It's
Mm-hmm.
so you cannot. I tell moms and people all the time, you cannot operate out of burnout.
Uh-huh.
From burnout, you cannot, because then you're just gonna burn yourself out, and it's like now it becomes, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know. So people don't really understand the importance of that you
Yeah.
have to find a balance. They think because because you're a mom doesn't mean
Mhm.
you have to like not take you can't take some time for yourself. We
Right.
can't pour from an empty cup.
Right.
So
That part. Yeah.
Yes, and
So
just to piggyback, I'm sorry, Wayne, not to cut you off, but to piggyback on that balance, I like to say juggle too, because I used to say balance, and it's like, wait, it's not
it's not
like,
right.
yes, but it's like it's going to be a more of a juggle. Dwayne says juggle stresses her out, but no, it is. It's more of a juggle. But I like how you said you wake up at 5 a.m. Dwayne has been trying to get me to be a part of the 5 a.m. club, and I'm like, girl,
Yes, the 5 a.m.
oh,
club. Come
come
I
on.
got
on.
the book. I got the book. Did you read it,
No,
Indira?
I didn't read it. I didn't read
Okay,
it.
I
But
got the book, girl. That's how
please send me the
intentional.
link. Please send
Okay,
me the link.
I
Okay.
will.
Okay.
That's how intentional I am about it. And it's like I just got to get to bed at a decent time because sis loves to stay up. And it's like
Yeah, me too.
I can no longer. I'm like I don't know if it's just me and the stages of motherhood with the 8 and 3-year-old, but I can't not function off no sleep anymore. I used to be able to do that like nothing, but I can't do it anymore. So it's like Dwayne, like get into bed by 9:30, please, so you can be a part
Oh,
of.
that's good. Yeah, I'll get in about 11,
Uh,
10:30.
uh,
12:31 over here. I'm the night owl. So
Oh
yeah.
my God, so what time do you wake up?
It depends. So like if my husband doesn't get here to take my son to school, I'm
Uh-huh.
up at 6.
Okay,
but
so
then
you
she'll go
get
back
up
to
early.
sleep.
Okay.
He's a real night owl. Okay, I had to recover from being in Texas, but we both staying up because we just missed each other.
Right.
But she thinks eating at before 10 a.m. is too early because she be up at she be up by the time the sun's coming up. She's just getting it. So
Love that. Oh my God, that is so like how
No,
like I'm up
but
this time.
out of the mommy trenches. So my son is 2.5. I stopped breastfeeding New Year's Eve. So like, what's sleep over here? I'm still trying to figure out what the schedule is. I
So
don't have.
he's 2.5, and then how old is your other one?
He just turned 8 this past week.
So you guys literally had kids at the same time, both
10
times.
months apart, both. 10
I
months apart, both. And this is what we need to be sharing, right? So we're gonna do it, and Indira. We've been talking about this, I think, since we started the mom community.
no more talking.
Right.
Y'all
Right.
do that. That's crazy. Did y'all plan that?
No, people ask us that all the time.
Because it's like, what were the odds?
Yeah, my mom thought we planned the first one. She definitely did. No,
Okay.
did
I
not.
love that. Oh, I wish I was like that.
God's plans. Those God plans.
Yes. He knew.
Yeah. You know what you need
Yeah.
for sure. But thank you so much for the conversation.
Thank
As
you guys.
we close out, we want everybody to remember that one, you can create the community, you can create the audience, just figure out how to navigate what it is that you have. Ask God to order your steps, align you in your purpose. And Indira, one thing, if it's one thing that you would love everybody to leave this conversation with, what would that one thing be?
I would say nothing worth having comes easy.
Mm-hmm.
So the times and the moments that you feel like it's hard and you want to give up is normally the time that God is about to turn everything around for you. So hold your head high, push through, keep God first, and keep going.
Yes. And what simple action step would you leave the audience with today?
I'm sorry, symbol?
What simple action step would you leave the audience with today?
I would definitely say take from this conversation, write down your vision, clear as day. When you watch this, get your piece of paper and your piece of pen and write down your vision and hang it somewhere that you can see every day, whether it's a mirror, whether it's your dresser. Look at that every day and make sure every day you do one thing to work towards that goal and that vision. Even if it's something that takes 5 minutes, just do that. Do it daily. And by the time you look up 90 days later, you'll be so much closer than what you could ever imagine.
Yes, write a vision, make it clear. Write your vision and make it clear. Yes, this is good. This is amazing. All right. Thank you, ladies, for joining us today. And Indira, let the ladies know where they can find out more about you.
Yes. Yes, guys. So please, you can follow me on Instagram at beauties, and it's BEAUTIES_with brains. So _WITH brains. BERAINS. And my new vision, my new brand that I'm working on is on Instagram at the Lux Mom Collective. So it's THE Lux LUXE Mom Collective. COLLECTIVE.
Yes,
I'll follow you guys back.
Yes, I'm excited to hear more about the Lux Mom Collective. Yes. So make sure you send us information on that too. And we will stay connected. I'm glad that this is our first official conversation here.
Yeah.
And now, Dwayne, you got somebody else to be a part of your community.
Exactly. Yeah. We all with the mommies all summer. So many festivals in Georgia. I'm so excited. Yes. So yes, thank you guys again from the bottom of my heart for having me. I truly enjoyed myself.
Thank you so much. I'll see you soon.
All right. Talk to you guys.